On the other end, we do have to talk Wimbledon. Someone that's not surprising that many people in the chat were saying your last name is Djokovic. They said your name is Pamela Djokovic. How you feeling watching Joker in the first, couple rounds so far?
He's fine. He's fine.
He went from 8-1 to 7-1 on FanDuel.
Oh, there's progress. Well, I think some of that is because Carlos Alcaraz, he's not really looking sharp right now. It's back-to-back. Even though Alcaraz won in straight sets today, cashed the under. If you saw on ESPN Bet, I took the under in that match. He's still not. He's looking out of sorts. So if he's doing, if he's playing this way, not behaving, if he's playing this way against lesser quality opponents, he will face either Jannik Sinner or Novak Djokovic. So you cannot play subpar against either of these players. So that's why, because we're seeing him dip, we have the potential to see Djokovic rise. Djokovic, listen, he is the king of grass. And I know that people want to say that Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz are in the mix. Absolutely they are. And I've even said it myself. I have tweeted multiple times. It's not that Djokovic's body has given up. It's not that he's 38 years old. It's that he literally doesn't have the tools to handle the pace and the power that is Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. And because of that, he's trying to figure it out. What can I do I'm an athlete, what can I do to combat that type of power? He's now had 2 years. And if you look at Djokovic's record against Alcaraz at Wimbledon, well, it looks like, hey, let's pass the torch over to Carlos, right? I'm not quite there yet. Because in 2023, yes, he took him to 5 sets. He was up a set. He was up a break. And then Alcaraz literally flipped it on. And when he did, he never let go of the gas. And it was the most insane turnaround of tennis I've probably ever seen. Last year, Djokovic lost in straight sets. Also, he was coming back from surgery and he had to WD from Roland Garros. So let's not take too much into that he lost in straight sets last year. He's now had 2 years to figure it out. I think I think he's capable. And he has 7 titles here for a reason, because grass court, if this was hard court, if this was US Open, if this was Australian Open, I probably wouldn't be, tooting his horn too loudly. But because this is grass, and grass is such a nuanced surface and it changes with the weather, whether it's 70 degrees, whether it's 90 degrees, whether there's humidity, night matches, day matches, roof closed, all of that comes into play when it comes to grass, a very special surface that is only accommodating to certain styles of players. And that style right now is Alcaraz and Djokovic. And I don't believe that Sinner quite yet has a style to bash through like he has been all year long.
So you still think there's value at 7-1 on Djokovic?
Absolutely. If there's even a sliver that we've seen, if anybody's been watching the tournaments right now, it's all over the place. And players that shouldn't be losing are. So just by fluke of it, if there's a chance that Sinner goes out early, the heat gets too much for them, find themselves in a 5-setter that you weren't expecting, then absolutely. If by chance Sinner drops, that opens up the door for Djokovic. If he ends up facing Djokovic, I believe that Sinner. I believe that Djokovic does have the power to get through Sinner on grass. Now, can he also get through Alcaraz, because you have to go through both? That's the bigger question, but the odds are 7-1 for a reason.
Absolutely. And Alcaraz still sitting there on FanDuel, at least at plus 110. How surprised were you with all these upsets so early?
Yes and no to upsets. So like players like on the WTA side, Coco Gauff lost. She's a clay courter. She loves slower surfaces. This is grass, like I said. So it's very different. So no, not necessarily some stuff like that. Alexander Zverev, that was a little bit more surprising to me, because he definitely has the skills to excel at Wimbledon because he has such a massive serve. But we've also seen that his head hasn't been in the game for the greater part of like 6 months. So it's just one of those things where, and if the temperature has been largely different for the first 2 days of Wimbledon, it was 90 plus degrees. That doesn't happen in London. So people were like freaking out. And so you have to, now the dynamics of the surface change. Your ball becomes a lot more flatter. You're not getting the bounce that you want. There's a lot of things that come into play. Now what is it? It's Wednesday. The temperature dropped 20 degrees. So you're basically seeing 2 different tournaments. So there's a lot of players who, because there's a lot of players who are baseline players, there's not a lot of serve and volley, attack. We used to like Berrettini. He's one of the players who can serve and attack. The problem is he's also been injured for the last 12 months. So it's not that there's a lot of shocks, but it's just a different type of tournament this early on. Maybe by week 2 with the temperature changing, then we might see it come back to level out how it should be.
Shawn Michaels said if Djokovic, which is obviously spelled wrong, Shawn Michael, but we'll let it pass. If he does win, then they're sending you roses. Yes. Do you like roses?
I have coffee with Djokovic every morning.
Do you have a specific flower you like best?
Whatever's pretty. I actually don't like roses. I actually don't like roses, but I went to the flower shop this past week and I got myself roses for the first time ever, but they were like a beautiful, vibrant pink. It was like a pink red, and I don't like red, but they were pink and they were gorgeous. And that was the first time I bought roses in like probably ever.
See, Sean, there you go. Maybe she likes roses, but just find her something pretty. Let's look at the card for some more Wimbledon. What are you looking at? And I'm assuming this is for tomorrow.
It is. Yes, it is for tomorrow matches Thursday. And most of these are like before 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you want, you got to hop on early. This is Martin Fucsovics against Gael Monfils, and they're the same player. These are two grinders who love to play from the baseline. They have trick shots. You never know what's going to happen. And they just fall. Both of them are on the older end. And so they faced each other plenty of times. They've been in this position plenty before. So I believe this is just going, if I think any match is going 5 sets, then there's 2 things that I'm looking for. For the underdog to get plus 1.5 sets, which is heavily juiced to Monfils at minus 230. Hello, that's a little indicative that they're probably thinking this is also going to go 5 sets. Or taking the game total over on 39.5. This is the type of match where you're probably going to get a couple of tie breaks where both players are so good with their serves and they're not necessarily the best returners or consistent enough to break the opponent's serve. So I love this match to go 5 sets. So I'm taking the over on 39.5 simply because backing Monfils on the set spread is heavily juiced. And I actually lean towards Fucsovics winning. Monfils over plus 120. I have a lean towards Fucsovics on this one. I don't have a strong opinion on who's going to come out the victor, but I would lean towards Martin's side simply because he's probably less gassed. Monfils is coming off of, hasn't had the best grass season. He's played against younger players like Alex Mickelson, and he even went on Instagram and was like, "You bet on me, I lose. He's 20. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm old. I'm tired." So I actually don't know how much like gas in the tank he has to win 5 sets. Can he get to 5 sets? Absolutely. Can there be a couple of tie breaks and still go 4 sets and hit the over? Yes. So I have more confidence in this going over rather than picking on who's going to win. The other match that I like, I'm backing the old dogs. I am backing the old guys who have been on grass before, and that's Marin Cilic. And people probably are like, who is that? If you're newer to tennis, who is Marin Cilic? Let me tell you,
he's one of the best servers. Cilic. I don't know about Jack Draper as much.
You don't know Jack Draper. That is let's calm down.
I know
Cilic. Let's calm down. Jack Draper.
He sounds like he could be a character in a movie.
He's a British player who is definitely, if you had to pick who are the top players right now, Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner. I'm not talking about Novak Djokovic. I'm talking about the younger generation. You have to include Jack Draper into that mix. He has one of the most complete games. And I would say the only thing that's separating him from leveling up to Alcaraz and Sinner is probably he has the power.
I think he was being interviewed. Was he being interviewed today on the ESPN set?
Jack Draper?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Sorry. Maybe. I was just watching this morning. I think maybe it was him, but you can continue.
I would say what's separating him is the creativity. And he doesn't nearly have, nobody has the power of Sinner. And I don't know how he generates it because he's so tall and scrawny. But yet he is just like, it is a missile coming at you. Alcaraz, what he lacks that makes him different from Alcaraz is that Alcaraz has so much variety in his game. He has a million tools in his tool bag that he can draw out any single one. The drop shot is the thing of beauty. He has the slice. He can hit super powerful from both hands. He can do the kick serve, which is massive wicked. And the problem with Jack Draper, and somebody mentioned it, he's always injured. Absolutely. He has the history of, well, he can be strong absolutely through, the course of a 2-week tournament, but He may not have the legs. He may not have the endurance. He doesn't have the physicalness right now, comparing to some of the other players. But skill set, he's there. He's right there. So if you don't know Jack Draper, watch Jack Draper because he's fun to watch. Now, that being said, I love Marin Cilic because this is one of those things that's talking about like, oh, Jack Draper, he's young, he's 20-something. Cilic, he's old, he's 30-something. One has been out of the game for a little while. Cilic has been in and out of injury. Jack Draper has been he's already won a couple titles this season. So, but this is just where undervalued. Cilic has one of the best serves, not just on tour, but it's specifically on grass. Talking about that missile, he has that. So he can win a lot of free points on his own through his serve alone. And because Jack Draper just doesn't necessarily face a lot of opponents who have this power of a serve, I expect this to go have a couple of tie breaks. So you're giving me a couple of tie break opportunities. I'm going to take the plus games every time. And I kind of really like Marin Cilic to upset because of his experience on grass. There's not a lot of players on tour right now who have as much experience as somebody like Djokovic. I'm not talking about 7 Wimbledon titles, but I'm talking about the amount of reps on this surface. Cilic is one of those. So I'm going to trust that he knows the surface. He's very experienced. He can slice himself. He does have a serve and volley type of game, and his serve is just wicked massive. And I don't see anything from his opening match that says that he can't contend off his serve purely alone. So plus games, I like the over 35.5, which kind of correlates. So I would say if you're betting one of these, bet one or the other based on the price. If like one is minus 120, one is minus 115, I would go with the cheaper one. I think it's correlated. If this match is going over, it's because Marin Cilic is doing his job and holding serve.
So these matches tomorrow are Draper Cilic is noon Eastern, and then we've got Sinner actually plays at 12:30 Eastern tomorrow, and Fucsovics and Monfils is 12. What?
Fucsovics.
I think I said that. It's
Old
like
man
Vucevic.
Cilic going for it. Absolutely.
It's like Nikola Vucevic, but it's Fucsovics.
Vucevic,
yeah. Against Monfils, right?
Monfils, yeah.
See, I'm good. I'm better at tennis than hockey, but that's at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. That one's pretty close. I'm seeing like pretty close lines between those two. It's Monfils as a short dog. Pam Maldonado, you're awesome. Do you have any plans for the 4th?
For the 4th, I'm playing golf, of course, and then watch fireworks somewhere probably. But all I have right now is golf.
Do you bet on the hot dog eating contest?
I used to.
Why not anymore?
Before I got into legalized sports betting.
Well, I think they actually give us. I was able to bet on it at FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in that. I watched it one year and I got so grossed out from it. I was like, this is disgusting. So it's not something that I'm really interested in watching.
Every year, and I get so mad at her. I said, you need to sit here and watch like the rest of us. It is a holiday. When there's the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, it is a holiday. That's like hot dogs over fireworks.
But it's so gross. And then there's
so
snot coming down, and then they're trying to drink water, and then it gets mushy. And then watching dudes is one thing, and then there's a chick, and I'm like, why are you?
No, the girls are separate. I can't watch the girls. I don't know. I know it's a little sexist, but like the girls, it grosses me out because you're a girl, and I have always been brought up to be very sophisticated, professional as a girl. Guys are gross. So like seeing guys snort hot dogs, I just think's hilarious. They just look ridiculous.
It's disgusting. I'd rather play golf and have a transfusion and then go watch some fireworks and have a whiskey. That sounds like my good day.
I hate fireworks. Hate.
Yeah, I like fireworks. I'm that person who's like, wait, let me take a picture.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's too loud for me, and I could look at them from a distance. It's enough. But Pam, good luck with your bets this weekend. Good luck on the golf course. Good luck in fantasy. Hope you enjoy the 4th, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you as always for coming on.
Right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.